So I'm going to do this quickly. This is just a quick review of the movie Ghostbusters. I just got through watching it. This is the 2016 version of Ghostbusters, by the way. Starring Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones, and Chris Hemsworth. But anyway, the movie wasn't as bad as what some people have led me to believe. And I also need to point out this. I watched the extended version. I don't know how much difference there is between it and the theatrical version. I think it's close to 20 or 30 minutes longer. I don't know. That may have had to do with one of the problems I had with the movie, was pacing. The movie took a while to get going, but you're going to have these problems. And another problem with it was too much SNL. I mean, this movie was bombarded with SNL personnel. Kristen Wiig has proved herself as an actress outside of SNL. I believe it was the movie The Martian she was in. She actually played a serious role in it. It was a pretty good movie. I mean, it was a really good movie. And her part in it was really good as well. It was serious. It wasn't like anything she had ever done before. And I like that. Change of pace. She proved that she can act, which I've always liked her, even on Saturday Night Live. She's funny. And Leslie Jones, I thought she done a really fantastic job too. Her character was like the glue that held this mess together. Melissa McCarthy, I've got to compare it to another Paul Feig movie. He was the director of this movie. I've got to compare it to Spy, which was an absolutely fantastic movie. There was no problems whatsoever with Spy. I loved it. Every moment of it. It had a lot of bad language in it, but I don't care. Melissa McCarthy, she's really good. But in this movie, not so much. And she was alright. She's part of what saved the movie from being a total failure. And like I said, Kristen Wiig, she done good. Chris Hemsworth, where to begin? He needs to stay away from comedy because that's just not his suit. I don't know why he's doing these roles. But Chris Hemsworth, comedy, just stay away from him. Play Thor. Play Captain Kirk's dad, George Kirk. Don't try to do comedy anymore. You've tried at least twice that I know of and failed miserably. This movie was one. He played the totally inept receptionist that they hired at the Ghostbusters firm, and he was just too dumb for words. I'm sure that was part of his character, but it just did not work. He did have a good dance number about 3/4 of the way through the movie when the movie actually got going. Like I said, it did have pacing problems, but that may have been my fault for watching the extended cut rather than the theatrical version. I don't know. It also became painfully obvious that Cecily Strong and Kate McKinnon are horrible actresses. neither one of them are ever going to breach into anything other than Saturday Night Live. So they really need to just hang it up. I mean, Kate McKinnon, she's famous for playing really both sides in the political election this year. She, on Saturday Night Live, she played Hillary Clinton, of course. And she also does Kellyanne Conway on Saturday Night Live. So she works for Clinton, she works for Trump. So, of course, both of them are working for Clinton. But that's not the point. She's not ever going to amount to anything as far as acting. She's kind of like a poor woman's version of Christine Baranski, the way she talks and acts. It's just really pathetic. And Cecily Strong, she's pretty. I'll give her that. But acting, I mean, I've watched her on Saturday Night Live. She's not even good on there. So I honestly don't see her breaking out of from Saturday Night Live. People spend their whole career to get off of Saturday Night Live, and Kate McKinnon and Cecily Strong are neither one going to make it off of there. Leslie Jones, I could see her doing some stuff. She's funny. I mean, she's really funny. Kristen Wiig was a bit off her game in this movie. But, you know, you're going to have some winners, you're going to have some losers. She had a big winner with Bridesmaids a few years ago. That also had Melissa McCarthy in it, which was a pretty good movie. But, as I said with Chris Hemsworth, he needs to stay away from comedy. Because he tried that in this movie, and I believe he was in the remake of Vacation. He was like Audrey's husband. I think Leslie Mann played Audrey Griswold, which, whatever her last name was after she got married to Chris Hemsworth's character. But he tried to play comedy in that, and it didn't work. In fact, that whole movie was a train wreck anyway. Apart from that, this Ghostbusters reboot did bring back 4 of the 5 members of the original Ghostbusters movie, albeit in cameos. Bill Murray was a little bit more than just a cameo. He actually made 2 appearances in the movie. It's the same role. He was a ghost sighting debunker. And that's sort of a poor man's scientist, I guess. Then Dan Aykroyd had a cameo. He's just a taxi driver that wouldn't take Kristen Wiig's character Erin where she wanted to go. He don't go to Chinatown, so he wouldn't take her back to their shop. And Ernie Hudson, he played Leslie Jones, played her father. He run a funeral home, which is how they got the hearse that they drove around in. I don't know who painted the hearse or anything. It may have been explained, but I kind of zoned out because the movie was getting a little too dull and boring. But toward the 3/4 of the way mark, the movie did pick up pace and was actually okay. So I watched it on Vudu, and at the end of Vudu, you rate the movies on a 1 or a half star to a 5-star rating. And I gave it 3 stars. So that's a little better than half. So I would probably watch it again, but I'd probably just watch the theatrical version to see if the pacing was a little better on it. I don't know. The pacing errors may have been as a result of that. Another quick mention about cameos. Sigourney Weaver made a quick cameo also. I won't tell much about that other than she made a quick cameo. And the movie was dedicated to Harold Ramis, who was one of the Ghostbusters in the original. He has since passed away in 2014, so they had been trying to get a new Ghostbusters movie started for quite some time. But I think Bill Murray was the holdout. He didn't want to commit to do the whole film or something like that. So the thing got shelved, and then Harold Ramis passed away, so the whole project was pretty much scrapped at that point until Paul Feig and whoever wrote it decided to do it, and that was that. It was a reboot. They did manage to set it up for a sequel and a post-credit sequence, so if you're watching the movie, you may want to watch the credits and see the post-credit sequence, because they set it up for a sequel, but since a sequel's probably never going to happen, I guess it really doesn't matter. But apart from that, like I said, moderate. I give it 3 stars. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 5. But I give it a thumbs up. Let's put it that way, because it did breach the 2.5 star. That would have been sort of middle of the road. It did go a little above that for me. But it's not quite as bad as what people would lead you to believe. That's just my opinion now. I guess other people would have their own opinions about it, and they may be right and I'm wrong. I don't know. I would recommend watching it. Just saying, give it a chance. It's pretty funny. Just took a while to get there. And that's all I got for this video. If you like it, throw it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I want to try to do more movie reviews. And I've been more down in doing my health history here lately, which I'll get back to eventually. But I'm just going to try to do a few of these movie reviews as well. And leave a comment if you don't like what I said. Let me know why. You think I'm full of crap and this movie deserves the Academy Award for Best Picture? I hope you've got answers for why. If you think that this movie was worse than what I'm saying, let me know why. But feel free to leave a comment about anything. And that's going to about wrap it up for this video. Thumbs up. Moderately so.